Hello, it's week 3 of FTE 217. My name is Matthew Malby. It is the 30th of May, 2024. We're going to be working on week 3 assignment today. This assignment deals with a couple of the components. We're to choose 3 components and go over a couple of points with them. First point is going to be what are the critical dimensions? And what I'm getting from critical dimensions are going to be what are the sizes as far as the measurements, not necessarily length, width, depth, height, width, but basically more along the lines of what are the measurements that we're going to be dealing with. What potential malfunctions, failure to fire, failure to feed, can occur if damage or improper modifications are made through that part. What damage is likely on, if any, on these components. What training should a gunsmith undergo to avoid causing damage to these components, and what additional components interact with those you selected. What are their critical dimensions? So, first things first. I'm going to go ahead. I got 3 components here. I'm going to be using a gas tube. This is a very dirty old gas tube I got from one of my first builds. It's been Frankensteined into something completely different by now. So I just had the gas tube left over. I'm going to focus on that first because it's going to segue into the next thing, which is going to be the gas block. This is a low profile A2 type gas block. And then finally, going to be working with the buffer spring. All right. Just a couple things I had in my parts bin. All right. First of all, critical dimensions. Okay, so for the gas block, mostly we get I focus on 0.750. They come in different sizes: 0.625, 0.750, 0.875. That has to deal with the barrel. What size the barrel is. As far as what the diameter is of the gas block. Now, basically, a couple of things that could actually happen if you, the potential malfunctions could be failure to feed. Basically, when the gas comes back through the gas block and through from the gas block to the gas tube into the gas key and pushes the bolt back, obviously, it's basically failure to extract. At that point, I would say it's more of a failure to extract more than anything else. And let's see what kind of damage or improper modifications. Basically, could be a low performance. There could be things like if you get too much carbon buildup in there, you gotta go and clean it out. As you can see, my gas tube is pretty nasty. So you gotta get that cleaned out. And let's see the specifications behind these malfunctions. The specifics. Well, basically, specifics behind the malfunctions. Basically, it's the specifics that I see are going to be the failure to eject is not going to get enough, especially if it's mounted improperly. A lot of people, they want to go ahead and get it on there and shove it right back onto that shoulder. Well, if you pop just a little bit, get a little bit of a fingernail in there, slide it forward just a little bit, it's going to work a heck of a lot better. But obviously, if it's cut off or if you don't align it perfectly and get that hole in the barrel, the gas hole in the barrel to line up with the gas block, you're not going to be able to have enough pressure to go ahead and move that bolt back. All right, so what training should a gunsmith undergo to avoid causing damage to these components? I guess at the end of the day, always study manufacturing specifications. So always, you can always ask your local community. A bunch of great guys out there definitely help you out. And then, what additional components interact with what you selected and what other critical dimensions. So moving right on, segueing right into our gas tube. So the gas tube has 2 links, carbine and rifle. And basically the potential malfunctions, obviously we're going to do a failure to eject, or a failure to extract, actually. Not going to be able to get enough gas pressure in that through that tube in order to go ahead and push that bolt carrier group back. So that's pretty much the improper modifications if you don't have the right gapping for your gas block. Obviously, the back of your gas tube is going to come up a little bit short. Might hold your bolts open just a tiny bit. I actually saw one individual, no idea how the heck they did it. They had their gas tube so far back that their bolt was actually open that far. And obviously, if that happens, you try to slam that bolt home under the buffer spring pressure, could end up mucking up that little end right there. And of course, bolt carrier key is made of harder metal than obviously the gas tube. So which one do you think is going to lose in that one? All right, so what could a gunsmith undergo to avoid causing damage? Again, same thing. Just make sure that you check your specifications. There's also things like YouTube. I mean, a lot of the stuff I learned how to do, I learned on YouTube. So I just watched other people do stuff and decided I'd give it a shot. And then what additional components interact with those? It's going to be obviously the bolt carrier key, and the gas block. So moving on, we're going to go ahead and look at the buffer spring. Now, I have seen these things wear out. In service, I have seen them wear out. Two different sizes they're going to have is going to be rifle and carbine. They're two different size buffer tubes, rifle and carbine. When the malfunctions I'm thinking is going to happen, if something bad happens to one of these guys, gets worn out, gets maybe one of the coils gets snipped or something, you're going to not be able to have a failure to extract, eject, cock, then feed. Yeah, it's basically what you're going to look at. It's not going to have enough spring pressure to get that bolt carrier group back and then push it back forward. What can a gunsmith undergo to avoid causing damage to these components? Yeah, just go ahead and make sure that you're looking at your manuals. In the military, we had manuals, and they told us everything we needed to know. The additional components that interact with this is going to be a buffer, the buffer tube, and considering it doesn't actually hit the bolt carrier group, I'm not going to use that because the buffer actually does that, so it doesn't actually interact. It interacts with the buffer. All right, so that is definitely it. Definitely enjoying this course and looking forward to week 4.